Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Age of Wonders Planetfall. I gotta say, I really enjoy those larger, more epic scale battles. Those are a lot of fun. So, I have put us in a little bit of a position now. We have not quite 2 armies worth of units left. We have some pretty angry looking dudes coming straight for us on account of all the murder we just did. And we haven't actually taken the city. I'm gonna assume... That does say Colony Militia Power 300. What I was gonna say is... I'm going to assume that the Colony Militia will not instantly regenerate, but even if they do, we have more than enough strength here to knock them out really quickly. And then we're going to have to figure out how to deal with all of this nonsense. I mean, these are not terribly powerful units that are coming after us. I think we crushed a lot of their most powerful stuff. We killed a lot of their good heroes. We did lose a good hero in the process. But basically, my point is, if we can just get over this little hump, I'm pretty hopeful in terms of actually completing this war successfully. Completing this war without being violently removed from the game. Let's keep an eye on these two. Oh, she has lots and lots of other stuff as well. What is that? Okay, that's not much of a force. They do have an Echo Walker there, but we should be able to handle that pretty easily. They split their armies apart over here. That's weird. Did they moved the 4-piece army up all at once, then split the 5-piece army into a 2 and 3, but then moved the 2 and the 3 into the same tile. Wonder why I wonder why they would do that way. Alright, well let's have you merge on to here. Items on the ground. Yeah, move them all to my arsenal. So apparently you can just steal the enemy's items. That's a cool thing. That is actually really neat. That you can loot the enemies and get equipment that maybe your faction wouldn't normally have access to. Let's grab this. Yeah, definitely move to arsenal. Those are my toys right there that are on the ground. Okay, let's finish this. So they moved in. Basically nothing. Colony Militia Power is now 800 instead of 300. I really hope that it didn't generate an entire new army in a single turn, because that's dumb. That would be a dumb thing to have happened. Let's make ourselves an Echo Walker, because these seem cool. Actually, let's maybe upgrade the Echo Walker design a little bit, but this is a cool unit. So, what do we want to give you? A phase walk modulator seems like a pretty important thing for a melee unit to have. It definitely opens up some options. And then we don't really need the ocular implants. I mean, extra 10% crit chance is cool and everything. And obviously, it's nice to have more armor. Sort of want to give him the void augmentation. I know we're not successfully applying dimensional instability all that often, but if it's on everybody, even at a low percentage application chance, we're still going to be getting stacks of it here and there. That said, a lot of enemies, we don't end up hitting them all that many times before they die. And we're very focused, of course, on killing enemies on the turn, killing enemies on the turn we dig into them rather than damaging everybody a little bit. Let's give them pulse grenades. Let's give them a ranged attack, and then maybe we'll just leave it there. Save that template. Yes, the Vortex Juggler. The Vortex Juggler Echo Walker. It's my favorite ICP album. Alright, let's just go ahead and generate one of those. That is going to take a minute. It sure is nice to have actual energy generation. And you guys, I'm not 100% sure where to... We definitely need them to move in this direction, right? We gotta be shuttling reinforcements over here as quickly as possible. We have an op ready to launch. Oh, yes, the Void Storm, right. I might Void Storm... Let's see, it's going to do some damage, but it's not necessarily going to... If this army was still on this side of that border, I would Void Storm this region. I don't really want to Void Storm the region I'm standing in, but let's maybe throw it over here? Just mess with these guys a little bit more. I guess let's do our fight for the turn, and we'll see if it's necessary to mess with them anymore. Maybe we'll just kill them all. Okay, this is a risky battle. It totally did completely regenerate their colony militia in a single turn. That really shouldn't work that way. That's pretty obviously not Do the defenders not have enough advantages in this game? If you kill a colony militia, it should... Like, I get respawning the units, but respawn them with, like, very low health and have them have to, you know, build up over time a little bit or something. It definitely should not be the case that they just are all of a sudden completely full. So the city effectively generated, like, 5 full units, because I think they built one here as well. Yeah, we gotta speed this up a little bit. And, like, the towers. The towers should not be rebuilt. Any towers that we destroyed during last turn's battle should absolutely still be down. Yeah, it's super weird that, like, my guys are still mostly showing the battle scars, but it's like, for them, it's like the battle never happened. It's very strange design decisions from the developer there. I guess let's just move up and start snapping shots at people. I mean, is this the angle we want to approach from? Not really. Do we want to do the... We probably want to just do the same thing we did last time. Moving, like... Making it so the battle line is not here, but rather here, is really advantageous for us, because it means we're not fighting uphill the entire time. But we get to actually take advantage of the good cover a little bit toward the end. Yeah, I think we gotta sweep over here. There's nowhere that you can stand where you'll be able to shoot at this turret without being shootable. And the more we let them group up on us over here, the worse it's going to be. So I think we got to just, like, commit pretty deep right away. You... Man, I sure wish we had more action points than we have. Yeah, I guess we'll just run up here. I mean, he's going to get extremely shot by this turret, but there's actually nothing we can do about it if we want to bring it down quickly. So you're just going to run behind the high cover. Given that he's hiding behind a building that's larger than he is, I don't really agree that this is high cover so much as a completely blocked line of sight, but what are you going to do? The game mechanics are what they are. And we got to run the scavengers up pretty close. This is going to end up being a pretty similar battle to the last one. Can you hit... Of course you can hit that tile. So that's not a very safe place to stand. Oh well. I mean, we don't really have another move. If we lose a scavenger to turret fire, it's not that big of a deal. And it's probably better for us for the turret to be shooting at him than anything else. This hero, what does he have now? Right, of course, reassemble. We definitely want to be able to reassemble. Only be used once per battle, makes sense. So we could... This only has a 7-tile range. I'm wondering about... Because we could, like, move to here, and then cybernetic overdrive, the scavenger... Can we get the executioner? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So here should be able to do that. Nope, that is the first tile at which we have no action points remaining. Fantastic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Shit, man. They really did a good job of starting us in such a way that we aren't going to be able to do anything good on this first turn. It's pretty harsh. How far out can the turrets reach? Oh, all the way. You know, just all the way. Unfortunately, we don't really have the option of keeping these guys very far back because they're extremely limited movement. They have to commit pretty deep so that they can be a threat at all next turn. We could run you... So we could run this guy over to here and then hit him with the action point restore. Then he could maybe get a shot on... I mean, he's not going to be able to get a shot on the turret we need to shoot. Yeah, Claudius is just not... He's not going to get to play the game this turn. This first setup turn is a real nightmare for the attackers. Well, they don't have a rocket launcher this time or anything. They're short on cool abilities in general, not out of cool abilities certainly, but shorter on them than they were last time due to not having any heroes. So we can group up a little bit more. But I'm definitely worried. And we don't have a ton of power to play with either. They've been accelerated. The good news is that guy didn't go anywhere before doing that, so we can get a shredder off that'll hit the tower and stagger him to break the fascination bond. Okay, this isn't too bad. They're getting very focused. They also have action point restorers. Okay, so that confirms something. That shot was a flank, so you are flanked if you are shot from any direction except the front. The fact that you're still kind of facing guys doesn't matter. It has to be, you have to be all the way facing them. That's a pretty harsh model for that. If I were designing it, I definitely would have had like, this is my front and these 3 tiles are my back, not these 5 tiles. But all right, so we just do a shredder bomb here to break the fascination. Also, it's just a good amount of damage. There's a significant number of biological units in here, so we might get some bleeds, and we can't really afford. Well, we can do a vortex charge and a shredder bomb, or 2 shredder bombs. So it makes sense to do this. But if we're gonna go for the bleeder, we probably want to do the bleeder first, right? Oh, we have a chance of bleeding 2 of the units. You know what? Let's open with the vortex charge. Alright, so that staggers all of them. My hope was that we could throw rocks and, do this kind of stuff. Maybe get some big stuns. But if we're going to do that, we first have to do something about all this Overwatch. What exactly is it that I want to do about that? Alright, you know what? I think I'm going to do this real quick. They can almost certainly destroy that tower. That gives us the ability to run up here pretty safely. These scavengers might be the ones to run over here and start mauling this dude. This gives us some pretty good cover against a lot of their ranged attacks. Not all of them. We're definitely open on that angle. But also it'll give me a little bit of health to work with. I think I would prefer to run up and get the melee attack and get the health rather than point-blank shotgun. Oh yeah, especially because the shotgun doesn't actually stagger. Please, please, please don't miss or graze. Okay, real actual contact. And that's the only person who would have had Overwatch on him, because this guy is a step back. So we could just Wild Bash the Echo Walker. Or we could throw that big rock and try to get a stun off up here. Try to get a stun off and also do like a considerable amount of damage to a pretty large number of units. That feels pretty good. Maybe I should be more afraid of the Echo Walkers than I am. They do have kind of a lot of health. They're pretty annoying. I'm going to throw the rock. It's just the opportunity to potentially turn off 4 of their units is a pretty big deal. Anyway, we're not going to get 4 stuns, but we're going to get maybe some stuns. Yeah, we got some. We got a stun, but we also like really lit these dudes up. And so now that we know exactly what we're looking at up here, we can make some informed moves. So the Psyfish is really annoying. It's probably like one of the highest priorities, although I guess it's already done its fascination thing, and the cooldown on that is pretty long. So what we could do is pop this guy over to here, spawn an Echo up on the high ground, and have it melee overwatch those dudes to death. You could also move this guy to somewhere and have him... So you could definitely kill the tower. We could probably kill a fair number of these dudes. I'm a little worried about... Maybe we just sacrifice the Crystal Basher. It takes them so many hits to get through it. Doesn't seem like a terrible focus. I really wish that that our hero had a multi-attack, like a grenade or something. This would be a really, really good time for that. You have a grenade, and it does do 10 damage, which is enough to kill him, enough to kill the tower, not enough to kill that guy. And it'll leave this guy at like 2 health because of the shields. That's not horrible. Although actually I don't think we can get close enough to throw it up there, can we? Nope, never mind. This only allows me to resurrect cyborgs, right? Yeah. I guess one thing I could do is I could action point restore this scavenger, and then he might be able to actually kill this dude. 30 health? No, I'm not going to kill him. But I would be able to restore myself to basically full health. That's not horrible. It's not great either, though. Oh, actually, you know what? In order to spawn an Echo Clone up onto here, I would have to be standing there. It is remarkable how it is always the case that I'm one tile away from where I need to be to do an important thing. Like clockwork, man. You know, it's just a special skill of mine. You don't have an area attack. We lost a lot of our good area attacks, because that's what we really need here. We just need some more. If we'd hit a couple more of them with the stuns, then next turn's Shredder Bomb would have been really spectacular. So you probably do just have to kill somebody up here. I don't know. There's a better move. Can I move to cover that I like? Like, he's really far away from combat. So it'd be great if we could move to better cover before doing that. And this at least lets me potentially take up another angle, although I'm definitely worried about these guys then running down here and having a clean shot on him. That Psytech staff hits pretty hard, actually. You could back off and Vorpal shot somebody. Leaves you in the open. But this attack only does 9 damage, right? Yeah. I don't know why it does that, where sometimes it shows the tooltip and then immediately removes it, and you have to move the thing off and then back on. I'd be leery of shooting at anything except the suppressor. Although, actually, if I kill this guy, then I can spawn an echo in his space. So maybe that's the most important thing we could possibly do at the moment. For some reason, I'm not allowed to shoot him from here, even though I can definitely see him. I could stand a little bit more in the open. I don't love that. Yeah, maybe we have to just stay right where we are. Okay. Put that guy down, run you up to here. Oh, it does let me spawn right there. That's 3 hexes away, though. Am I... Teleports a short distance. No, it totally is 3 hexes. Okay. Well, this is still better because this leaves me in... this leaves me now in melee Overwatch range of 100% of the non-stunned enemies. I guess, actually, I could just take this thing down. Oh no, they resisted my dimensional instability. Whatever shall I do? And let's run the Echo Walkers up here. I want these guys to have to be worried about getting meleeed in the back. Turns out we have flankers too. Alright, so then your move is very focused in this direction. You have Laser Burst, which is unfortunately a full action. It does really a considerable amount of damage. Except not to that guy. So, like, we have the option of waiting 2 turns until one of them poofs, or just killing them both. It's very difficult for me to think that we should wait, given the amount of damage that the 2 of them will deal combined in that amount of time. I know that it's a little damage inefficient to kill both of them, but I am not convinced that it is better to let them just both be alive. If there was something we had that could like dispel summoned units, that would definitely be the play here. All right, well, let's pop the combat stims. We're gonna go ahead and shoot this. I think that's a 95% chance of 1 hit for 14. Okay, yeah, this is this is definitely the move. So this is guaranteed to do damage. My understanding is that you have a 25% graze chance above the listed hit chance, which means we can't miss. We could char him. We could apply some dimensional instability. Alright, let's be hopeful. Show me something good. Okay, a critical hit for 20 damage is the something good I was talking about. So I'm going to step over so that this guy no longer has a free step into a triple attack on me. And then we're going to snapshot this dude. Maybe I snapshot this guy, because this guy's so wounded already. Maybe blinding this one is the better play. You might be able to get a kill on him if we... he is getting cover from my own unit, sadly. And despite the fact that you are flying... Oh no, okay, it looks like we can move over here. That did not help my line of sight at all. Alright, you know what, let's give him the Arc Rod. Okay, I was going to say, maybe we'll get super lucky, and this decision will be made for us. And now that I know I'm just doing that rather than considering a Vorpal shot, because it's just not enough damage. Maybe I move further away, because I can move further away safely. We have 75% right now if I... Huh. That's weird. 75% is a yellow percentage, I guess. I think if I move to cover over here, he might be getting partial obstruction from my giant dude. And I don't want to miss, but I also really don't want this unit to be right there. I think I'm gonna step. Alright, please don't miss. This would be a really good time to land a blind. Okay. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. This dude does have melee overwatch, so the odds of this guy doing anything other than stepping in and just melee attacking, I think, are pretty low. Oh, his mind has been wiped by a tactical thingy. Okay, those guys ran to a position from which I have high cover and then just hit with all of their attacks, no matter what. Boy, they really just don't miss with those attacks, huh? Oh, interesting. Given how much attention they paid to the Crystal Breaker on the first turn, I thought for sure they were gonna like focus on him again. I'm not sure that I think that was a good move on their part. Because, like, first of all, this guy heals, and secondly, he doesn't do nearly as much damage as the other dude does. Although I guess they mind-wiped me. Yeah, he's catatonic for 2 turns. Man, the AI sure does have every single possible disabling effect, huh? Okay, good news for us up here. These dudes are not in a position to survive very long. So we want to run to right here. Well, hold on. Where do I want to do my tactical operation for the turn? I guess... there's a couple of places where there are 2 dudes clustered. We could drop the Shredder right here. It wouldn't quite kill this guy, but it would get him very killable. But I guess we already have... We can't quite kill him with these Void Blades, which really sucks. And there are so few ways to do a small amount of damage to multiple enemies. You know, like, it feels like once we've hit him for this much damage, putting any other attack on him is, like, feels very wasteful. Unfortunately, is going to be 100% necessary. So we could avoid that by having him be part of the Shredder Bomb, or we could Shredder Bomb 2 high health biological units who can be bled. Both of which I think are reasonable. I guess let's just be rid of this dude. Let's see, we can step first and then have our 190% chance to hit attack, and that gives us some overwatch. I cannot get into real cover. Whatever. Let's just make this guy's life as miserable as possible. And then we're going to, similarly, have you step up here. And I should probably stagger... Should I stagger this dude, or should I bring this guy down low enough that an Overwatch attack probably kills him? I guess I'm going to hit here, because on this guy we have 2 Overwatch attacks. We may well already be killing him. And then they have a number of ranged units kind of moving up into us here. So hopefully you see what I was talking about like reordering the battle lines. Now a bunch of them are on the low ground, whereas if we had just surged forward, they would have been able to stay in their high ground cover the whole time. We have a much cleaner position here. I really wish that we had a way of removing debuffs. We need to find one of those, and we need to find such an ability and make a big priority of getting it. So we haven't actually had any cyborgs die yet. What they're going to do is kill all of my units in the same turn, so as to make the fact that I can resurrect them way less relevant. I mean, it's hard to imagine that it's right to have this guy do anything other than shoot the Echo Walker. This has a cooldown. Sorry, I know I'm just like tabbing through the units over and over again, but it is not super clear to me what I want to do. So if I step over here, how much can I lay that dude out for? Really? 40%? Man, we need more combat stims. We can move forward. We don't get a green targeting indicator until after we've lost like all of our action points. But this will strip some of those long-range penalties off. Yeah, 2 shots at 60% is probably better than the 1 at 80, especially since part of the value here is applying debuffs. That's just completely insane. Did you see that? He didn't even shoot in kind of the right direction. He shot away from the dude into our Crystal Basher. Just really awesome. Alright, I think we gotta do this because I need the health. And then the Echo Walker is very killable. Although, of course, never better than yellow % chance to hit. He has 8 health and a ton of... Maybe this is the turn when we do the Cybernetic Overdrive. We just overdrive this guy and let him refill his health, devouring the rest of the Echo Walker. Or... maybe what we do is we step back, finish this dude off with this attack, if we can find a way to... Right, I'm still hallucinating, because they have all of the debuffs forever. You hit him, maybe? A red chance to hit? I mean, honestly, 3 shots at 25% is not even that bad. Yeah, I'll take it. Let's go for it. Alright, 1 real hit. There we go. So that means you can shoot at somebody else, although you don't have a great shot on anyone. You do have concussive shot, which will maybe apply concussion. Hard to say. Might be a good idea to concuss somebody, especially one of these gun units. You can't attack, but you can move, so we can at least move you to a position where you're threatening. I mean, this Crystal Basher's dead, right? If it doesn't get to participate in combat at all, and it can't take cover, it's just going to get shot to death. But I can at least move it in a direction where it affects their decision making. It's catatonic for 2 turns, too. Also blinded, because of course my debuffs always apply on my own units. I guess turn to face this way? I think more of the units that are shooting at him will shoot him from the front that way. But he's a total sacrifice. He is not savable. All we need to do is keep them shooting at things that are not dealing the majority of the damage to them. Alright, if we move to cover, we lose our shot. That said, I'm pretty far back. Most of the enemies don't have any ability to shoot at me. So I think I'm just going to take this. Okay, we did land the Chard. Of course, we managed to find a Graze in there. It's not horrible. Do I want to just take this shot? If I hit this and the bleed lands, he's probably just dead, right? Like, it might not be on the next turn, but on the turn after, he totally would just bleed to death. I'm going to try it. And I still have pretty good cover here, although, you know, for all the good that's done me. Okay, the bleeding did land. So exactly how much damage does the bleeding do? It has -2 impact resistance and takes 5 damage every turn. I would assume that shields do not protect against you bleeding to death. So I think that guy might already be dead. And then we definitely want to have this dude just float over and heal somebody. I think it's probably this guy. He might be dead even if we do that. But I think we should try to save him. So am I close enough to hit him? Yeah, I could just hit him with it from here. I should probably move a little closer to the battle, though. Let's do it right here. Because if these guys do survive, they're close enough to actually be a total nightmare for the enemies. Okay, absolutely everything they do is always critical. Really, that guy... Huh. And this dude totally did not bleed to death. Shields reduce the amount of damage you take from bleeding. It's kind of incredible. Alright, well, we have a res. Yeah, so we probably just res this unit, right? I think that's the move here. Back to life with 50% of its max HP. And we could just heal somebody else, but I think this is the play. Here's the question. Does it come back to life with a 1 action point? That's not ideal. Well, we could shotgun somebody. Alright, let's tear these guys up. I was gonna say, are you seriously not gonna spend the last action point? So this guy's melee overwatched, and he has 3 health. He's probably dead now. Wait, did that unit... Okay, the unit did bleed to death. Did I misread? Do you take the bleed damage at the end of your turn? I guess you must. That must be what we're seeing happen. I'm not allowed to attack this spawn with my 1 action point, which is really crummy. Right now I have 45%, but from here it would be green. Or I could just fly over here and kill that guy. I feel like that guy's under control already. I think maybe we just focus down this dude as hard as possible. Then our hero can help with that one. I think we probably want to run the hero to here. Finish it, so we have the ability to step out from behind cover without losing an action point, but also we're not suffering terribly during the enemy turn. You're probably under control, so it's just these two. And the question is... I mean, with the bad shot, I think we want to kill this guy more. Could step you out and maybe lose... No, we would lose this particular obstruction, but we'd still have to deal with the obstruction. Like, they're still behind a thing. Would be pretty cool to hit with this. Okay, the Graze still applied the bleed. That could have been a lot worse. Yeah, so this thing hit for... Jeez. It attacked the unit that it attacked on the last turn for, like, 60-ish damage, I think? That crit the entire set of attacks. It did 21 damage 3 times. It's definitely a concern. But I guess we... Like, there's not really that much we can do about it right now. We can focus up real hard on it next turn. I think I'm just going to go for this. Alright. Well, they're down to only... I mean, this guy will get his attack off, and then he will be killed by Overwatch Fire. And then this guy will kill whoever he feels like killing, because that's how their units work. Oh, the tower killed him before his attack. That was nice. Okay, well, we're getting there. Trying really hard to select the unit standing on the ground. There we go. Let's go stagger this guy, get some of our health back. Well, something tells me he's about to have a much worse turn. Looks like we're never going to get a much better shot than this. Okay. And that should finally do it. We lose another hero, unfortunately. We are getting quite a lot of science. Colony awaits its fate. Do I absorb this? It's not super easy to... I mean, all of this stuff is becoming my territory, right? So I guess it would be connected to us. Yeah, alright, absorb. And you guys definitely need to be one tiny army. I mean, one full-sized army. And then let's contact Cena here and see about some peace. How you feel about a truce? Okay. I was kind of hoping that we would have broken their morale by taking their capital, because this is not really a fight that we can win over here. One thing I suppose we could do is step out here and then drop the Void Storm. That doesn't feel great. We could attack right now. I guess they generated a whole new militia immediately after their militia was all killed. So maybe it will also generate a whole new militia for me? And it certainly seems like it should. So who knows? Maybe we'll be okay. Okay, let's, we don't really have any other units right now. That's a real shame. I guess you guys just wait here? Doesn't feel great. Yeah, if they roll over here and attack us, we're gonna be in for a tough one. I mean, we'll have the superior positioning, right? That is exactly what is happening. They are, of course, going to get to attack us without militia, because we don't get free militia. We do have a total military power advantage, but I'm not sure I agree with that assessment, basically. Let's move you up into the cover position. Yeah, it's low cover no matter which place we go to, so we may as well stop there. You guys do have the phase walk, so... The thing is, if we move forward very far, we're going to make the enemies not have to come into actual firing range. I think we can trust that they will not necessarily comport themselves in a sensible way. So I'm going to just keep my melee units back here. I'm going to, since this does not resurrect the units in a way that is terribly helpful, I'm just going to probably use it as a heal. We should definitely, speaking of heals, just throw one of these out real fast. You can wait right there. And, like, do I want to just heal that guy right now? 35 health. He doesn't need all of it. But him being at full health and my hero being able to, you know, focus on doing other stuff during the actual battle is probably a good idea. So let's move you to here. Oh, this does have a one-tile range. Well, this is definitely the safest turn on which to do that. I guess it could be either one of them. It's probably this guy. He doesn't have any natural healing, and he's probably more important to the plan as a whole. Alright, we totally do at least have towers. Should probably speed these up a little bit. Okay, they do have a hero this time. We have to watch out for that. Okay, I don't directly control the towers. It looks like they just get to fire. Which is a shame, because they don't necessarily fire in the most sensible way. Like, this tower should definitely have shot at that guy. I mean, it looks to me like a vortex charge right here seems pretty powerful. Alright, one of them is dead before we're even really doing anything, and then we just set up our own overwatches and pass the turn? Or, no, we have a pretty... We should just take the pretty clean shot. Take advantage of our sniper. Okay, a reasonable critical hit. This, by the way, is how you're supposed to be doing a defense. The enemies have a real bad habit of running way too far up. So these guys have the standard 7-tile shooting range. I gotta be a little bit careful. If I put the hero here... No, if I put the hero here, that's fine. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't position somebody in a spot where an enemy can shoot at them without provoking anybody else's attacks. And I kind of think I'm just going to keep the melee back for the moment. They don't really need to go anywhere. Overwatches and defenses up. We have enough energy to do some more blowing people up if we want to. Yep, he's going to do that thing, although he did it in a way that doesn't really make a lot of sense, in my opinion. We should get a pretty good set of tower shots this turn. It's a shame we don't have any psionic weapons, really, so we're not able to take much advantage of that broken mind. Okay, those beetles are basically dead. So that's the position where we drop the next thing, right? Shredder bomb right here. These poor dudes are just they're having a hell of a time. You can't actually finish that guy off. This is a situation where it might be okay to just let the extra Echo Walker wear out instead of trying to kill them both. I think the damage they're going to deal is not super great. Okay, let's see. We can move to here and get all our shots off. I think, yeah, just like removing the enemy ranged units is definitely the smart play. These combat stims are great, by the way. I don't know that I've ever had an item in a tactical combat game that I like more than these. Alright, so you don't have much of a shot on anything. Let's see, we can move you to here. You still don't have a shot on anything. So these guys are just going to run up the stairs, right? Now that there are fewer enemy ranged units around, I think we can bring the melee forward a little bit. Or actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have this guy run over to here and spawn a clone down on the ground. Kind of in the open, but still in a place where it has inconvenient melee overwatch. We'll just get them to to behave foolishly in this way. So I might even... I mean, you can't do anything useful at all. You can float forward and shoot at this guy. He's going to shoot back, obviously. Although, actually, his weaponry is not all that impressive. We don't want him fighting from over there, though. We want to draw him forward. We want him to have to come forward and actually use that shotgun. So the question is, do we move you out to a place where you're going to have a little bit of a better angle? No, you know what? You've got the shot. I believe in you. And these guys can maybe move up to here. Just give them a little bit better position to open up. I think we're going to see a foolish assault on the stairs here. I was going to say, is he really going to get to do that without triggering my melee overwatch? But no, we got him. Okay, that's working exactly the way I wanted it to. He's going to work on the tower, which is absolutely fine. And yeah, then these guys are just standing in the open, which makes things a little bit easier. So I have to imagine that we can take this guy down with no trouble. You probably don't have to reposition after every punch. It turns out the best way to defeat an Echo Walker is with your own Echo Walkers. It's terrible, terrible work there with the grazes and whatnot. I mean, this is exactly what our Electrocutioner should be doing. They've got to be out of army after this, right? Alright, we stole one of his action points, which is pretty good for us. Yeah, it's nice to have the superior range. Even though we're we're hitting this guy for, like, basically nothing. Alright, we did apply dimensional instability eventually. And I'm actually going to have these guys run over here. Prepare to deal with the indentured Star Runners. And we can position pretty far forward since we can just run through the wall to get down to them. And then I guess you may as well come over here as well. You know, he gets it done. It's not like a great unit, but it does get the job done. So a Shredder Bomb is not going to be enough to kill this guy unless the bleed gets applied. I think we can probably just save the energy here. Alright, that is totally fine. Okay, they did not... they failed to deal damage. Yeah, that ability to run through solid objects is actually extremely useful. What a good mod. Okay, who wants a kill shot? You know what, Inspector? You've been doing a great job so far. Why don't you get it? It turns out war is costly for everyone involved. Heroes dying left and right. We got some food. And also a whole bunch more research. That's good. We got to accelerate this dimensional mastery. This is not a slow thing, not a fast thing. Sorry, it is exactly a slow thing. That's precisely what it is. Wow, that's incredible. This army has a huge amount of movement. It's really, really tremendous. My reputation keeps vacillating up and down without me doing anything, which honestly makes me not care too much about the mechanic. It's just going to do whatever it wants regardless of what I do. Looks like they reclaimed the Cheerful Lowlands, which is kind of whatever. Pretty hard to care about, if I'm being honest. you may very well get caught and murdered on your way up to be a reinforcement. We are building military units. We have this. Should probably, That's right, I was doing a whole thing over here. This is what happens when you don't record for a couple of days. Well, we do still need to deal with this. It totally does matter. So I guess I'm gonna keep building lightning riders. And we do have the energy to prime an op, although I'm not 100% sure that I want to. So the planetary unification protocol, we could already attempt to win the game. I have to imagine... Oh no, sorry. I cannot. I have to have a virtuous reputation level and also some friendly dwellings. We are working on a friendly dwelling, aren't we? We were saving up influence to buy the dwelling of the Autonom. Oh, it's something I have to buy in the trade menu, that's right. Request ownership requires a nearby colony. Okay, so we do have to be adjacent to them first. Well, let's buy a unit or two, shall we? We could really just use some bodies. And then, like, a golem, too. Golems are fine. And actually, this guy's flying. It looks like. He is floating. Floating is good enough. So actually, we could send him south. He's a little slow, but he could join the flying army, and then this guy can try to get over and help us with the war. Man, they really do. They just have a huge number of units. It's like non-stop armies coming in. Well, I want them to have to attack me, and it looks like we don't really lose anything by being on defense here in terms of them being able to bring in any other units or anything. They've got to be pretty close to just out of dudes, right? What do you mean, contact commander? I'm the commander. I mean, I will be soon. It is weird, though, that clicking on that causes me to, like, be able to contact the person who used to own it, when it's mine enough that the turrets work for me, so I feel like that makes it my city. Alright, do we want to change up any of our equipment here? We've picked up a lot of gear. I gotta say, I'm not super wild about the Imperial Buggy. I do like having him in a vehicle, but maybe that's not the right one. We can put him on a hover bike, which looks like it's not super different than the chopper. This Abyssian is similar-ish. We could put him on a lightning rider. That would still leave us with over 100 energy left to fight dudes with. And I think the lightning rider's pretty good. It makes him melee-proof. It also does that to him, which is, you know, maybe not 100% ideal. And then we could give him some ocular implants, or maybe... No, the ocular implants are way better. Please? Please, ocular implant? Why can I not do that? How do I, like, do I have to unequip? Okay, and then implants? Nope. Maybe we have to confirm the vehicle change first. Now can I mess with this? Yes, okay, that was the problem. So we would never take off his combat stims. His void augmentation's not amazing, but we don't really have anything else we want to put on him. I don't think the integrity destabilizers are any better. And with him flying, the grenade is maybe even better than it used to be. Although there is this Inferno launcher. Direct line-of-sight weapons are a lot less affected by line-of-sight stuff when you're flying, or at least you would think so. I guess the Inspector routinely has trouble hitting people. Let's try this instead of the grenade. I will say we're not using the grenade very much because of how close you have to be. And then you guys are cool right there. And right here, we have 103 energy left, so I kind of don't want to start building a unit. Guess we could increase our happiness even more, get even more free stuff. That doesn't sound terrible. There are still research improvements. Okay, that'll do. That is a much worse amount of energy generation, though. Maybe I don't care about this enough. Let's just choose energy. I'm debating whether I want to keep these guys over here in case of Scyfish incursion. We're close enough to having a real army. I'm gonna start moving them up. They may need to go and be a part of the war, especially with this army right here. All right, let's see what terrible things happen to us this time. Secto has declared war on Ea. I really don't have time to get involved in that nonsense. And we get attacked again. We do not have an advantage this time. But we do still have the towers, you know. We have superior positioning. The AI is not very smart about how it attacks cities, it seems like. So maybe we'll be fine. And we are actually at full health. Also very helpful. The sniper takes up this position. Actually, maybe they should be swapped. Well, too late now, unfortunately. I gotta say, the facing mechanic does not feel like it adds a ton. There's like a little micromanagement you gotta do at the end of units' turns, semi-frequently, way more frequently than I am actually doing it, by the way. I recognize that. It does feel a little bit like busy work. I'm not going to bother with you, you're fine. And you have a whole different thing going on now. So you have your Arc Thrower, you have Arc Strike, which is okay. AoE attack. Causing attacks to stagger targets and do 50% bonus damage until the end of its next turn. Well then, we are definitely going to Arc Charge, because I think there's a pretty poor chance that we're going to get enemies into shooting range over here. Actually, they have one flying unit. It does have real weapons on it. I'm just thinking we might actually want to be pretty aggressive with Claudius now. He really needs more health. We gotta take health on his next level up. Like, move up into a pretty aggressive position and hit the charge. Okay, you guys are good. Let them mostly come to us, but because of the fact that most of the units on this side are actually melee units, I think we can do some work with Claudius very quickly here. Now, they did bring a tank this time. Definitely worth being wary of. And of course, we do have to be cautious because these guys do have shotguns. They're not pure melee units. Okay, that was pretty good. Yeah, they'll get to crack the towers for sure, but I'm not too concerned. So, is it just over here? Just drop the damage in wherever it can hit more than one person. We could wait on it a little bit. We also could use some of the other stuff. We really are just sticking to the direct damage spells. Create an unstable echo of a non-hero unit. I don't know. That's all of our tactical points. I don't actually think that... I think there's a real chance that that ends up not being as good as a single vortex charge, and it's certainly not good enough for us to get no vortex charges. We can time warp people, which is fine. We could try to stun Cena. She did show up herself, which I sort of admire, kind of, a little bit. I'm inclined, given our amount of energy and stuff, to just drop a Just drop an attack on them over here. And this is more about getting a bleed up on this guy, but, you know, damage is good too. Okay. We managed the bleeds. That guy will be a lot weaker by the time he actually gets to us. What have you got? You've got a bad shot against that dude, and that's it. Still, it would be pretty nice. I think I'm going to take it, because if I go into Overwatch, I'm just going to be shooting at him in that tile anyway. Okay, the bleed did not land, but all the rest of the damage did, in a pretty spectacular way. What is the range on your attack? Okay, the standard 7 tiles. I have to get to here before I have a shot. I am inviting this thing to just come over and shoot me. Maybe the right move is to go in Overwatch? But maybe back a tile? Yeah, I'm gonna back up a tile and Overwatch this way. We're going to continue letting them come to us. Because the turret fire is doing some fine work so far. Cowardice. I assume... Oh, no, never mind. I was going to say, I assume he's going to stop one space outside of our Overwatch range. But he's just going for it. Phase Shift Abduct. We should probably click on that guy and figure out what that ability does. Get them to spend their heals and stuff. See, that guy heals and removes debuffs. That seems pretty good. We need some of that. Wait, really? 2, 3, yeah, I guess. Okay, and they electrified a different tower that has no part... Why would you do anything to this? It's just completely disconnected from the battle. That's very strange. Alright, Sniper. Sniper's got a kill, let's let him have it. Boy, I sure wish his sniper animation played faster. Or maybe like once he fires, he goes into laydown mode and he just stays down until you move him, so you can skip the laydown get up part of the animation every time, or, you know, something like that. There are solutions to this problem. I definitely want to make sure we kill the flyer. He's probably got it. Okay, with that thing down, we are totally in control of the skies again. And I think this is another situation where we're putting down our oh, it's still just floating there, but dead. I'm gonna put down our void copy, just in a place where it's annoying. Actually, right here is pretty good. That's cover from a lot of their stuff. And now we have the flank on that guy. So you can stand out here, it doesn't really help. Yeah, I guess I just fly to here and nuke him in the back. Dimensional Instability 2. I do not remember what that level does. Do I really just want to shoot at him? The arc damage resistance. Kind of kicking my ass here. But we do want to get him down to the point where the Overwatch is a thing he has to actually care about, instead of being something he can just run through without thinking about it. A missed attack there is not helping things. Okay, that'll get the job done. It turns out those shotguns are pretty good. It really is very different to have a melee unit with a shotgun than it is to have one with no ranged attacks. And do we want to bother with a tactical thing, or do I want to maybe... Because we could drop another Shredder Bomb here and just, like, continue to harass. Yeah, I like that. Continuing to wear them down, applying more bleeds. Let's make sure that I actually... it doesn't specify at what point in the turn the damage is taken. I just assumed it was at the beginning, because that's how it works in a lot of games. Okay, bleed damage is at the end of the turn. This unit has 100 morale and 15% increased accuracy. Okay, that buff is pretty good. That's a pretty good buff to be able to apply to multiple units. Diversion projector. Well, we'll have to see what that does. This is beautiful. If they're just going to like spend all of their actions attacking these guys who are not even a real unit, I'm pretty happy about that. And they're splitting their focus. They're taking so few attacks against our stuff per turn that it's taken them forever to actually get into a position where they can threaten us. Like, these guys won't even be able to shoot at us from up there next turn. Alright, well, no reason to have these dudes do anything other than run up and melee. And a little bit of assimilation's good for you. And then... I mean, does the sniper have... How clean is the sniper shot? Also, it's impossible to select ground units when there are flying units anywhere near them, which is really annoying. Take the one step, and hey, that's pretty good. This particular Vorpal sniper is just an absolute 100% hero. Do I want to threaten them with the other Echo Walker? I think we do. I think we want to commit melee at this point. Echo Walkers are only sort of real units, so I think this is okay. And then we have to decide on what we want to do with these guys, because now it is potentially the case that we're going to see people running up. So do I move up to this cover and start shooting them even though the shots will be bad? Probably. Like, we probably gotta get to work here. So actually, it looks to me like a vortex charge might be lethal. No, did we leave him at 1? Yep, because it does 16 damage minus 2, which of course is 13. That is how numbers work. Well, that's very annoying. You get to a position where you can fire off one bad shot. And again, the Inspector is weak enough that if it dies, I sort of don't care. Oh, he got there. Oh, it's because the shield effect. I was thinking that this was, let's see, where is it? Yeah, is immune to stagger and cannot die until the start of the next turn. For some reason, I was thinking, we've seen another shield effect that was a reduction in hit chance, if I'm not mistaken. And for some reason, I was thinking it was that one. Let's see, if we move you up to here, you still don't have a shotgun shot on anybody. Alright, we'll come back to them. Claudius, come forth and fire your mighty Inferno Launcher upon them. So this has Demolisher, and we might be able to do some damage to these obstacles. So it's going to do 45 damage to the buildings. It is not sufficient to kill a building. We are not going to be able to shoot this guy with a normal attack, but if I could get the Inferno Launcher here, which I do not have to fire far, I do not have to move forward very far for, we might be able to kill that back unit. It does mean exposing Claudius a little bit. Have to move forward 2 tiles to make that happen. But do I want to move more so that I have a better chance of it landing exactly where it means to? Because missing with this would be a real disappointment. I'm going to come forward to here. Okay, it won't be lethal. Never mind. It will be lethal. It didn't actually show any graphics when it happened, which is a little disappointing. I think we wanna commit our scavenger at this point. They have very little left. We have 23 energy, which sadly is not enough for another shredder. Oh, he's spawning dudes. Yeah, and that guy's 100% dead. The Inspector actually drawing a considerable amount of fire. Considerable amount of fire that is missing. The enemy's continuing to use tactical operations on units that can't possibly matter. Okay, that guy burned to death. So let's get our melee on here. First of all, let's have a look at this unit. A repair drone. I don't think we care about that. We could just kill this very easily, I would imagine. They just fly up to here and fry it. It's not going to die from just that. Right, I'm going to do this. And then we're going to have the scavengers over here run up on and melee the hero. Although, we're going to do it later in the turn so that I don't accidentally create a vision block, because I'm learning, slowly but surely. That's risky. I think this is a little bit better. It still probably lets the hero shoot at me unobstructed, which is obviously extremely dangerous. But the hero's going to be melee overwatched. He's probably going to be staggered. Yeah, that's not too bad. I do love the ability to walk through walls. And you know, we're learning a ton this game about like the flow of war. You know, every different strategy game has war that feels a little bit different. That you can get away with different amounts in different games, and this has been very, very helpful. Alright, so we can definitely get damage on the enemy hero. Or we can just shoot at this guy a lot. I kind of want to just shoot at that guy a lot, I think. Because the amount of damage we're going to deal to the enemy hero is, yeah, pretty negligible. Let's just stack it up on this dude. I'm sure we can kill this guy next turn. Alright, at this point, there's nobody else who's going to be able to take a shot. You have to spend your whole turn running. Probably to right here. Okay, so this is the time for the claw. Look at our sweet little undead zombie cyborg commando guys. This is a cool faction. It's a cool faction with a cool army. No, do we not? Huh. We actually didn't get our melee Overwatch. I'm not 100% clear on why they didn't go into Overwatch there after their melee attack. Okay, so that guy's dead. I mean, we've got it. It's over. I wonder if we'll be able to steal the tank. Because I want that tank. You can take him because you're incredible at everything. Oh, sometimes he hits non-critically. What a disappointment. Nope, just deleted the vehicle. Nope, he managed to push the vehicle back a space instead of killing it. Does it have one of those, an escape module? Yep, teleports to a random position, heals for 15. The music clearly thinks the battle ended, though. Which is kind of funny. Alright, let's see if you have 2 escape modules. Nope. So now their hero is out of the vehicle. It looks like maybe on fire already. Are you burning? You are burning. You were ejected from the burning tank. We still have the kill, right? I think between these two, they each get a melee attack. Also, you fell out of the vehicle with only one action point remaining, so you don't get any turns or anything. I guess a melee attack isn't quite going to do it. This should, though. That feels a little unsporting. We just point-blank executed their faction leader with a shotgun. Well, if that's not enough to make this war go away, I don't know what will be. A message from the Autonom. Really? No, I'm not. I'm very busy. My relationship with the Syndicate was changed to neutral. So Secto and everything, that's a whole problem. So Cena of House Timur has been defeated. I'm not 100% clear. I thought taking the capital was going to do something. It didn't really seem to. Maybe once I had successfully absorbed their capital, it would have wiped them out, and so that's why they brought forward everything to defend it. But it looks like we were able to just outlast them. Yeah, their units that were reclaiming things have disappeared. The stuff that they reclaimed has become neutral territory. So is it just kill their faction commander? Man, if all that has to happen for your faction to lose is that your faction commander is defeated in a single battle, we've been way too aggressive with Claudius. That said, Claudius Proton fears no man. He does desperately need some points of vitality, though. I feel very strongly about that one. And yeah, we'll just pick up some basics here. Yeah, Claudius in the Lightning Rider with the Inferno Launcher is a way more aggressive version of Claudius. Unfortunately, it seemed like he lost his access to the combat stims, so that's pretty not ideal. We are now, all of a sudden, in a really reduced state of urgency, so I don't really know what we want to do with all these units. I guess we gotta start caring about that other war that's going on, too, huh? Well, we'll get eyes on it soon enough. We're building the... We have a 4th unit incoming, we're building a 5th, so this army is almost ready to go and attack the Dwelling of Warped Lair, to remove yet another of our enemies from the table. You need to come over here and reclaim Tranquil Wood for us. You may as well get some weapon factory buffs while you're on your way. Oh no, this is number 4. So, okay. With this guy and that guy, we actually do have the full army. We'll be able to do this pretty soon. Do I want to turn you around and have you join up for that? Probably, right? The situation in the northwest is no longer urgent. We may as well put as many flyers on it as possible. And we got ourselves an Onyx of Conversion. Okay, Mind Control. Strength 12 Mind Control. Definitely move to Arsenal, and let's talk about equipping that immediately. As it goes in this slot, right? Maybe we don't do that here, but what is our other hero using? He doesn't have anything in his secondary slot. Why don't you grab you an Onyx of Conversion? Yeah. Okay, this is going to be fun. So what do we want to do with these guys then? I guess we could come over and grab this thing? Is this place at its maximum sectors? Yes, it is. Okay. So we have to wait until it gets to 16. Well then, I don't know what to have you do. Okay, that's just... I guess that's what we could do. We could go and try to reclaim some of the stuff that used to belong to Sina. That now belongs to the Marauders, although they are numerous. We're at full health, though. We could probably take them. We have a pretty strong squad here, although, you know, obviously it helps that we were cheating for most of those battles with the turrets. Why don't we... Yeah, make some botanical gardens. This place is not super happy. And then... I don't know what after that. Let's let that finish before we make any more decisions. We actually have a fair amount of energy now, but I don't know that I necessarily want to build any units way back here. So this seems like an okay time for an analysis station. And then an entertainment plaza. You are never done improving your infrastructure. Units in target army lose all of their move. Trying to figure out, like, what is worth energy to prep. We might... I guess let's just prime one of these. We have plenty of resources built up for that. And then the Hero Resurrection Protocol seems like it might be a good idea. And we end up with energy income that is totally fine. That hero buzzed off. We just didn't keep his interest for long enough. That's alright. More heroes will show up eventually. They'll hear tales of our incredible deeds, and they will be drawn to us. But for now, although we didn't actually manage to do a lot of turns here, for now I think that's going to be it for us for today. You know what? It was a productive episode. We had an entire war. It doesn't get too much better than that. So thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time, tomorrow, and this time when I say that, I mean it. Come back tomorrow to see how we turn all this momentum into a victory. And we'll see you then.